Hello, this is Breadboy, and today I'm going to be looking at Ballchinian's replay that he submitted via Discord. Ballchinian is a champion level player looking for advice on challenging, positioning in 2v2s. So let's start the game and have a look. So here it's important for you to not be this close to your teammate. Since you guys are a pre-made team, it's important to communicate with each other. At 11 seconds, you'll see like you have to decide like who's going to be going for the ball and who's going to be rotating back. Had the enemy team had a shot that was stronger and on target, it could have been very difficult for you guys to save. Also, had you been further back, a clear to the right would have been much easier, as you could have just lightly tapped it to the right towards the boost. And had you taken this boost, had you been back and taken this boost, you would have taken it from your opponent there. So right here is another instance where you need to look for your teammate, and you see that you're way too close to each other again here. After you took that boost, you should have rotated behind your teammate way further in case your teammate can't get to the ball and can't get in their control. As you see here, this leads to an open goal. So right here, you did a great job of watching the opponent and you rotated correctly. You put on pressure for this goal and that worked out really well for you. So at this kickoff here, I think that after hitting it, I think you still could have grabbed the large boost canister on your right after you flipped, and had you done this, the player Sirius, he wouldn't have been able to get back as he wouldn't have had boost in that situation. So he was able to get back for this this block here because of that. So here, I think it would have been beneficial for you to be waiting in goal and facing the ball. Had you rotated back into the goal at 113 here, I think you would have had more control of your clear instead of popping it up last second like is done here. So I just want to point out here that this is a good use of your car control to ensure the ball stays out of enemy control when you go up backwards like that. But I think it may have been better for you to not flip when you actually get to the ball here, as it would have resulted in a bit more control. So if I go to about like here, you probably want to aim for around like this area of the ball, and you probably want to aim it not this way where the enemy's at. You probably want to aim for probably somewhere like around here. If you can, getting it to go up on the corner to pop it up and then follow it from the wall is usually a pretty good option. So just something to keep in mind for situations such as this. So I want to go back a little bit to around 134 here. So here you went for the ball and cleared it. What I think would have worked a bit better for you is this is kind of a similar situation to what happened with that middle boost during that prior kickoff. So here's another spot where you should have gone for the boost while continuing your press for the ball. Had you taken it here and still gotten the same clear that you had before, it would have prevented Cyrus from getting that boost and allowing him to get back to the goal again, allowing them to have two defenders in this situation. So if I go to Cyrus's point of view here, you'll see that he was able to get that boost, and because of that, he was able to get to this boost and then get a clear off of it. So here when you were going for the block on Real Caesar, right afterwards, you should have noticed that the middle boost was gone and probably not even gone for this in general, even if it was up. When you leave your side with two attackers like you did here against your one defender, it gives them a lot of space to do what they want against that one defender. And what you should have done is really just went for the smaller boost pads that led back to your net and not really went for that middle boost. So here I think that you could have jumped a bit earlier than the enemy to give yourself a better chance at saving this. This is still a really good attempt by you. It appears that like the real Caesar got really lucky on the second hit and it wasn't really planned by him. So that was pretty good positioning by you up until you crossed over this middle line here. I think that was just getting a little bit too close. This is a good attempt at your double touch there. So I just want to point out that I really liked this goal that you played out here. You anticipated the enemy challenge that came from your right, and you got the ball you got your ball placing pretty close to the net after beating out that last defender. Now many people may have said that why didn't you go straight for the ball after that placement, but you did the right thing in getting in position and waiting to see what Caesar did, and it worked really well for you here. So there's only a few things that probably could have been done to prevent this goal. When Cyrus is taking the ball up the wall, you could have tried to get up sooner onto the wall to prevent that odd bounce that was from the corner. Or you could have jumped before Caesar did here, which is difficult not knowing that he's there from this camera angle, but you would have needed to jump before him to beat him to the ball. Let's see. So here it was probably best not to go for this boost, seeing as the real Caesar, if you look at his trail, you can see that he's going supersonic at this point. So you having no boost and him going to this faster than you can lead to obviously the demo that happened here. So it's important to think whether or not it's worth it to go for boosts at this time. So here, it's probably not best to just hit the ball towards the enemy goal like this. Um, as you can see down here, there's an enemy that's pretty close to net and he can get back quickly if he needs to. It's best to probably try to just communicate with your teammate that's on the ground and try to pass to him if he can get in position. Otherwise, just taking it slow and not just giving up possession is probably the best thing to do here. So here when you see that the enemy is going to be giving you a lot of space, it's important to use that space. So instead of just hitting it like you did here, you may have benefited from setting up some sort of dribble play. You could have lightly tapped the ball a few times to prepare for a power shot, or just carrying the ball and then flicking. Both of these options are tough to defend, and even if they are blocked, it would have given your teammate a chance to follow up. So even though at this kickoff you're going for a cheat, it's important to have good communication with your teammate. You guys got way too close to one another, and your teammate had that middle boost. After taking that, he left you with very little boost to get back to this. You only had that 23. So it's important to have good communication, especially at kickoff, to know what you guys are going to do and not force any double commits. All right. So let's go over a little of what happened in this game. So one thing I noticed a few times was you could have positioned differently to boost starve the enemy to give the enemy less defenders to work with and less defenders for you to worry about when trying to go for shots and plays. I also noticed that there were a few times where you and your duo partner weren't communicating. Like when you're a pre-made team, you have the advantage in that you should have better rotations from your communication, but the lack of communication was pretty evident in this game in a few of those scenarios that we went over. Um, the most important thing I want to go over is how rotations really work in twos, um, as I think it would really help you and your teammate know what you should focus on. So if you think of the if you think of the field separated into different squares, right? You have the back left on your side, you have the middle on your side, and you have the back right on your side. And then you have another three squares in the middle, right? You want to kind of think of um, each zone should not be occupied by both of you at the same time. It really should be, you guys should be apart. You shouldn't even have a zone you shouldn't have a zone in between you either. You want to be able to back up your teammate. One person should be putting on pressure while the other one's there to back up if they need to. So let me see if I can kind of draw a good example of this. So let's say that this is the field, right? And this field is broken down, this being the middle of the field here. And then you have these zones here. So say you are here and your teammate is up front here in the middle. That's perfectly fine. Now say your teammate moves up here, you need to move up to here. But you should never be occupying the same space. So, you can't be here and your teammate can't be here. You should be back here in that scenario. So just important to keep in mind. So all in all, I can tell that you're a mechanically skilled player and definitely have the ability to make the changes mentioned in this video. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me via Discord direct messaging. So thanks for watching and have a good one.